Good morning, everybody. It's Monday. It's Mama Nurture Monday. I'm Rena here. I'm a lead teacher for Mama Nurture Prenatal Yoga training, and today we're going to look at Janu Shirshasana, so head to knee for prenatal yoga with a side stretch option. So right away, I would like to say that having your students sit on a blanket or a couple of blankets would be great. And not only does it help keep the low back curve for the student, which starts to be difficult with as pregnancy progresses. So this is what happens a lot of times. We're sort of dipping back. So we want the pelvis to be as perpendicular to the floor as possible. So sitting up on something helps with that. And it also makes a little bit more room for baby. So I'll do that from this angle. So here, and then I kind of like to scoot my sit bones where they just come right off the edge or almost off the edge of the blanket. Then traditionally in yoga, when we do this posture, we'll have the legs like hip distance apart and you bring one knee in. For prenatal yoga, I actually like to make this a little wider. So that way you've got a bigger space here depending on how far along your pregnant students are. So I'll do it that way today. Another thing that you can do before we move on is if you have someone who it would feel better to sit up on a couple of blankets, you can do that. Keep in mind that behind the knee, this can create strain depending on how high they're sitting. So you could have a block available or a rolled up blanket or even a couple of eye pillows just to place behind the knee. And then if your students are comfortable here, this is fine to bring the leg more forward. So really just kind of giving that option here. I'm just going to take it a little bit to the side just so that I can encourage that making space for baby. And then from here, several options. So we will fold forward, encouraging your student to keep the foot flexed, especially if there's restless leg going on or leg cramps in general, just having that foot flexed and keeping the top of the thigh active. So up here, your thigh muscle hugging to the bone. And one way that I like to do this is just to take a bolster and place it on the mat. The mat will usually hold it. And then have the head come forward. So you're still keeping a long spine. You're reaching up tall through the crown of the head and leaning forward. Forehead comes to the bolster, and that's a great place to rest. You can also do it here and just have them, depending on how far along they are in pregnancy, and just have them lean forward. Keep the integrity of the neck, so not here or here, just reaching. And sometimes it helps with that if you flip the palms up and encourage the heart to come through and forward. That really gets a lot of length in the spine. That is an option. And especially if you have students who have heartburn or indigestion, using the strap might be better because leaning really far forward isn't going to feel good. So you can have the strap around the ball of the foot and flex that foot again, keeping it active, and then just activate that leg, not locking out the knee, but just keeping a little bend there. And then using this resistance, inhale up nice and tall, exhale, and baby moves toward the thighs a little bit. And again, this can be here toward the center if more room is needed there. But probably my favorite option here is to incorporate the side bend on each side. So let me go ahead and switch sides just to say I did come off one of these. All right, and then I like to have a block. So the great thing about this side option is that you're creating a lot of space along the side body. The intercostals are stretching, and that helps with mom being able to breathe better. And as that becomes more and more of an issue, as all of the internal organs just kind of start to push up, and it gets a little harder for for the prenatal student to get that nice deep breath. So here, breathing in, breathing out, leaning. I like to lean onto the block. The arm doesn't have to come up. Shoulder staying stacked. And then if it feels good and okay, and again, keeping this leg active, then coming over and reaching, and really reaching long with those fingertips. So your lines of energy are out through the fingertips, down through that rooted hip, and breathing here, really reaching with those fingertips. So avoiding, for purposes of this posture, kind of leaning forward. And then option without the block would just be fingertips. Switch sides again. Fingertips here, arm up, lean and reach. And this is really nice. So you've got the bend in the elbow to use as your lever to go deeper or not. And then maybe your student might have the forearm all the way down onto the floor. This helps relieve low back pain. Again, it can be really good for restless leg and leg cramps. And if you have any questions, let me know. Again, want to let you guys know that we have Shannon Crow and I, Shannon Crow, Mama Nurture, and I, and Shannon is also of the Connected Yoga Teacher, will be doing a free online yoga, prenatal yoga workshop on contraindications and cautioned poses for prenatal yoga. If you have not seen this material online, some of it is on her, on the Mama Nurture website, but you will get us live and in person, and that will be on September 16th at 6 p.m. Central Time. We would love to see you there. I'll drop a link to that event in the comments below. I would love to hear from you. Do you have options for this posture that I didn't show today that you would like to share with us? Let us know.